Hello there, YouTube. I'm Darren. Um, Today, I'm going to be dishing on a Batman trilogy, or collection, or however you want to put it. I know, there might have been some videos probably done on this. I don't know. I'm just going to show all the remaining of the Batman movies I have. I have the Adam West one, but unfortunately, I don't know exactly where it is at the moment, so I may show that one off later, maybe give a review about it on, I don't know. Now the first couple movies I'm going to show off, the first couple Batman movies, any Batman fanatics out there may have a problem with the first couple I show off, which that's okay, that's your own opinion, which I would agree on the first couple not being that good. I would kind of agree on that. The first one I'm going to show off is this one, Batman and Robin. Now, what I have against this one is, I suppose it'd be the fact of how they cast George Clooney to play Batman. I know George Clooney. I've seen a few of his movies. But in those few movies I've seen him and he done okay in. But now as Batman, not exactly the Batman type of, not exactly the actor who portrayed the Batman type, But one good complaint that I would have out of this movie is that you got three villains, obviously. You got Bane, Poison Ivy, and then Mr. Freeze. Well, out of all three of those villains, I thought that the only one who was possibly cast perfect was Mr. Freeze. Arnold Schwarzenegger, he done a pretty good, positive job, I thought. I thought he put in a good, Mr. Freeze sort of acting, The suit and everything was well made and all that, and that's one Arnold Schwarzenegger role I, in a way, look up to. So that's that one. This other one that I'm going to show off, you guys probably have a problem with too. I don't like this Batman either. I really don't like this one. This one probably be the number one Batman I possibly don't like. Batman Forever. I thought the movie was good. It was okay. It's just the way, obviously, any of you out there who are Batman fanatics, you should know that Batman Forever, or you should probably know that Batman Forever and Batman and Robin both were made by the same director. Well, they made Val Kilmer as this first one, who was made by that director, and then went over to George Clooney. Surprisingly, with that director, it surprised me that he didn't use George Clooney in this one either. But they used Val Kilmer in this one and George Clooney in that one. The only possible reason why I like this movie would be because it's got two good villains in it. Two-Face and the Riddler, obviously, as you see on the box. Now, I thought the Riddler was pretty well, made, like Mr. Freeze and Batman and Robin. The casting of the Riddler now, I thought Jim Carrey, to tell you the truth, on my opinion, was a good choice. He made a good Riddler, very funny. Thought he was very funny. And now Tommy Lee Jones, he made a pretty positive Two-Face. And then you got Robin stepping into the play, and to tell you the truth, putting Robin into this movie and then having him for Batman and Robin, well, anyone who's a Batman fanatic, I don't know if this ties much to anything, but in the new Batman movies, you don't see, well, to tell you the truth, you don't see Robin until you don't see Robin until was it? Yeah, The Dark Knight Rises. Well, it ain't necessarily Robin. He ain't Robin yet. But eventually, if anyone who's seen The Dark Knight Rises, obviously they know. I heard there was an after credits for it, though, an after credits scene. Unfortunately for me, I did not see it. I'd walked out of the theater. I didn't exactly know if there'd be an after credits to it. I guess I should have stayed for it. But in The Dark Knight Rises, what was his name? Drake or whatever. I know his last name was Drake. Well, he was that cop, obviously, in The Dark Knight Rises. And obviously, if any of you have seen the movie, to any of you who've seen the movie, well, it's obvious to you guys that he did not exactly discover the Batcave until the ending, which people thought, now don't get me wrong on this, now, most people thought that was going to tie into a separate sequel, kind of like they done Batman, and they thought that the guy who made the new Batman movies, Christopher Nolan, was going to make it. Wrong. To tell you the truth, I looked online, and I'm pretty sure it is online. I looked online, in which I eventually found out online that Christopher Nolan said no, there was not going to be no Robin franchise like they done the Dark Knight, like they done Christian Bale as Batman. You know, so didn't exactly like this guy as Batman either. Just like George Clooney didn't exactly like him, but beyond that, the movie was alright. I mean, but like I said, the part about Robin stepping into play, I mean, the only thing I got to say about that is that about Robin stepping into the play on this, you know, Batman, to tell you the truth, Robin was mostly with him in the comics and stuff. I know that much. There might have been sometimes he worked alone, but mostly Batman was the type of superhero, or if he was superhero, I hear some, he ain't exactly superhero, he's just a man in a bat costume, which all the villains, you know, think he's crazy because of that, but, you know, just the way the movie's made, and I kind of respect the movies for that. I don't know why, but, you know. You know, so, like I said about Robin coming into the play, all I got to say is Batman was always a work-aloner. I mean, he mostly worked alone. Sorry about that. Something wrong with my video here, my webcam or whatever. Hopefully I can get this thing on bar. Sorry about that. If I don't know if it's in the video or not. Something went wrong with my webcam here. Anyway, I'm good now. Like I said, Batman mostly worked alone. That's the only possible, you know, problem I have of Robin stepping in, but, you know. Now we get to the good two movies, starting with this one, Batman, with Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson. Now, Jack Nicholson, good Joker. I thought he was a good Joker. Yeah, Jack Nicholson, like I said, good Joker. And now Michael Keaton as Batman, that's what I was saving up here for. Now, even my, you know, but yeah, like I said, Michael Keaton is Batman. I thought that he made a good Batman. The reason I think that being is because of the way he played Batman. It's just his mouth and everything, I thought made the features to the, like, it just, how would I say this, like, it fit the mask. Michael Keaton's mouth, his features and everything fit the mask perfectly. To tell you the truth, on my opinion, they should, if Michael Keaton was up for it, even the director, even the guy who made Batman Forever and Batman and Robin should have still put Michael Keaton, if he would have been up to it, into the last two. But, you know, different director, and he wanted different guys, and, you know, they always mess that up sometimes, you know. But, yeah, Jack Nicholson played a good Joker, and Michael Keaton was, out of all the Batman movies, to tell you the truth, Michael Keaton was the best Batman I've ever seen. And that was a good movie. Thought it had a good storyline to it in a way. I thought the movie was good, and, you know, so that. Now, the final movie I got is this one. Now, most people on YouTube who have probably showed their collection, I'll probably say this, in which I agree with them. By far, now, for a while, to tell you the truth, I was mostly a fan of Batman Forever. Until I took another gander at this one a few times here and there. I took a gander at this one a few times here and there. And a few other times, you know, I never really watched this one that much when I was smaller. Because, you know, it was so dark and couldn't hardly watch. I mean, that was when I was smaller though, but, you know, times change. But like I said, later on down the line, after my days growing up, you know, well, after my little kid, you know, days were over, I started watching this one a few more times here and there, and then I started to get the fact, I started to realize that possibly this one might be the way I seen it a few more times here and there and stuff after a good long while. I figured, well, from what I've seen in a long time, this one looks better than Batman Forever. So then I started to think, well, Batman Forever was good. But this one, after not seeing it in a long time, figured it was kind of better than Batman Forever, to tell you the truth. Plus the fact that Michael Keaton's back in it. Second, the sequel to the 1989 one with Michael Keaton where he fought the Joker, Batman Returns. And what I also liked about this movie is you got two new villains. Obviously, as you see on the box, Catwoman and the Penguin. Now, to tell you the truth, Catwoman, well, the actress who played Catwoman, she played it okay. Danny DeVito as the Penguin. Now, I do not think there is any other, on my opinion, any other actor that you will find who can play the Penguin like Danny DeVito. Danny DeVito was the best Penguin I had ever seen. And, you know, the only Penguin in the real life movies, you know, but... Yes, but when I seen Danny DeVito play the Penguin, I figured, well, he's good. He really played the Penguin real good. The fact, what his plan was, and to tell you the truth, I kind of thought the storyline in this one was not only more darker than the first one, but I thought it was more better than the storyline in the 1989 one that I got up there in my pile. The one with Jack Nicholson, the Joker, it had a good storyline. Not exactly as dark as this one, though. Out of all the original Batman movies, this one was the darkest, I thought, because how he had the Penguin in there, and from what I understand, I may be wrong, but from what I understand, out of all the villains that Batman's ever faced, the darkest possible character was the Penguin. The Penguin was always the darkest. I don't know what it was about him exactly, from my point of view. He was dark. He was just the darkest guy out of all the Batman villains, and, you know, that's a little bit why I like that one. Now I got this one for you. Batman, the Animated Series, Volume 1. Good episodes. I mean, I seen this at Walmart, and I figured I'd pick it up just for the heck of it, because it was Batman. It was $15 at Walmart. You know, I figured it was worth it, getting the Batman Animated Series. And plus, when you got Mark Hamill playing the Joker now. Now, to tell you the truth, Jack Nicholson played a good Joker. But you know, Arkham Asylum, Batman Arkham Asylum, Batman Arkham City. And then plus there was the animated series here from the 90s, in which Mark Hamill voiced the Joker just about every episode the Joker was in. I thought that alongside of Jack Nicholson, Mark Hamill had been the best Joker. Just the way he voiced it, the way he put his voice into it and stuff. It's just, to tell you the truth, I thought it was extremely incredible. There's a complete number of episodes in here, 625 minutes in all. 4-disc set, 28 adventures, says packs 28 awesome adventures of the world's greatest detective. Obviously Batman. World's greatest crime-fighting detective. Obviously, you know the whole story, you know the whole rim-ram, whole story. And that's that for that. And now, let me see, I showed all them. Alright, now, we get into the other two now, which I've shown the animated series. I mean, I've shown Batman Returns, Batman from 1989. I've shown Batman Forever, and I've shown Batman and Robin now. Now, most of you guys out there probably know what we're getting into. And that's, we're getting into the new versions now. Batman Begins. Batman Begins, which starred Christian Bale, and then you got Michael Caine as Alfred, Katie Holmes, you got Gary Oldman. Most of you Batman fanatics out there already know what actor plays who, especially Cillian Murphy as the Joker. Not the Joker. I mean, as the Scarecrow, not the Joker. My bad. As the Scarecrow, I mean. And obviously, for all you Batman fanatics, just to point it out that Cillian Murphy made an appearance in The Dark Knight, obviously, as the Scarecrow on the beginning. But obviously for a cameo, it's all it showed him. But anyway, Batman Begins. The very start of the new franchise starring Christian Bale as Batman. Now, to tell you the truth, basically, on my opinion, it goes in order. Like, from least to greatest. I thought this one was least. I liked how it tied in of how his origin, a whole new complete origin, like the whole story of how he became, of how he learned from the best man, Ra's al Ghul, however you want to put it. Well, in Arkham City, it's mentioned Ra's. But, in the cartoons, it's even mentioned Ra's, but, sorry about that. Also, well, now I forgot what I was going to say, but never mind. Like I said, I just like how it, ties in, you know, to how, you know, how his origin came into place, how he learned from the, basically, I guess, the man himself, Ra's al Ghul, you know, Ra's, whatever you want to call him. And then he came back to Gotham and, you know, vowed to take on the criminals of the darkness, you know, as Batman. He vowed to take on the criminals, vowed to fight the men, you know, vowed to fight criminals as the darkness that, I guess how I want to say, that he told Ra's al Ghul at one part in the movie that he was going to go back to Gotham and he was going to fight men, criminals like Ra's, basically. He was going to fight criminals like Ra's in the shadows, in the darkness, is one of his greatest fears. But obviously, for all you Batman fanatics, obviously you should know he eventually conquers his fear of bats. Because, you know, at the one part in this movie, you got a whole swarm of them coming to him, and then he ducks down for a minute as he's scared, but then eventually he's like, you know, he's coming up, rising up to what's he, basically conquering his fear, rising up to what he feared as a kid. And yeah, I thought it was okay. Now, very last Batman movie I'm going to show, and I've went through just about all of them. Now, just about almost everyone probably knows what I'm about to show next. I've had Batman Begins, all the original Batman movies, that Batman animated series. Well, now we come into Christian Bale reprising his role in The Dark Knight from 2008. Now, on my opinion, I went and seen this in theaters. Obviously, probably almost everybody did back in 2000. It's about 2007, I think. It might have came out in theaters because they usually, it may have been the year of 2008 too. Some movies in theaters come out like a year, depending on how late it is and the pushback it is into the year. But yeah, the Dark Knight. Now, from what I seen, whenever I seen the previews for it, how it was going to be showing in IMAX and theaters, they were coming out with another one and all that. Well, I thought Batman Begins was okay, kind of, you know. Yeah, sorry about that. I don't know what's wrong with my webcam. I don't know what's wrong with it. Hopefully I can wrap this video up without it jumping on me again, the video. But I'm sorry it took me so long to get back to talking here. I mean, my webcam, to tell you the truth, is just acting a little bit haywire on me tonight. But anyway, like I said, back in, yeah, it was like 2008. It was coming in theaters. I seen the previews for it and stuff, and I was like, well, I seen Batman Begins. It was okay. But then I noticed, from what I seen in the previews for The Dark Knight, I noticed, well, I was like, this looks like it's gonna be better than Batman Begins. You know, the sequel, the follow-up to Batman Begins. You know, and I went and seen it in theaters, and it was good. Really good storyline. Really good. I like this one. It's really good. And obviously, it came out December of 2008. Obviously, I've got it right here. Now, another good thing I got to say about, now, Jack Nicholson was good. Mark Hamill was good. I hear a lot of people, when they reviewed this movie in the past, I heard how they review on how the Joker was. How Heath Ledger, before his death, how he made an incredible performance. Well, all of you listening out there, that's true. If you think, now, all of the people out there, if they thought that Heath Ledger made an incredible performance before he died, well, that's true. I kind of thought the Joker was good, and it took me a while to understand why, because at first, whenever the Batman movies came out, the first, you know, the whole franchise, 1, 2, and 3 here, the whole new franchise, well, it took me a while to understand why Christopher Nolan made them like they did. It took me a while, but then I realized, you know, hearing something about how Christopher Nolan wanted to make the characters more darker than the original, and to tell you the truth, that's just what he did. He really done a good job at it, making the characters more darker, especially, you know, the Joker. I'm trying to point at him, he's on the back of the box here. Yeah, but, out of all, the Joker was okay. I mean, he was pretty good. Heath Ledger had made an incredible performance as the Joker. Unfortunately, his death was very tragic. I remember hearing about his death and everything, and, you know, I was pretty tragic. I was in that tragic mood when I heard about it, because I'm like, hey, he plays the Joker. He played the Joker on The Dark Knight. I'm like, it's a shame. But, you know. Anyway, that's my video That's my Batman collection, my video. Hope you liked it, and have a I hope you liked the Batman video. And I may be, now when The Dark Knight Rises comes out, I can't exactly guarantee, but I may have a review on it when it comes out. Like I said, The Dark Knight Rises, I hear that it's set to be for a release date in December, like December 3rd or 4th, might be the 7th. I don't know, I thought it was like December 3rd or 4th of this year. To tell you the truth, I read about that on Wikipedia, and every release date of a movie like that that's been on Wikipedia, well, it was right. So I went along with Wikipedia, and Wikipedia said that it was set to be released December, 3rd or 4th, somewhere around there of this year, 2012. So all I guarantee is that I may have a review on it, but you know, who's to say anything's possible. Maybe back with a review on The Dark Knight. I mean, I could give a review on it now, but fortunately I don't have the time now. From what I've seen in the theaters, like I said, I give a review on it from what I've seen in the theaters, but I don't have time right now. So yeah, that was my Batman collection. So that was my video for today. So thank you.